Have you ever sat down to work on a game and instead just stared blankly at your monitor? Your mind feels empty, void of any good game ideas, and you just feel completely uninspired. I know I have. But what if I told you that you can learn to find motivation and inspiration in everything around you? In order to tackle such a difficult subject, we had to bring in the big guns. Yes, none other than the Monster Tribe man himself, Reece Geofroy.
That's weird. This is not my channel. Well, whatever. I am so excited to talk about motivation, so let's get into it.
Now, before we talk about how to find motivation, it's important for us to understand that motivation comes in 3 phases, and these are inspiration, infatuation, and determination. Today we'll only be covering the first 2, but if you'd like to learn more about determination, Reece and I did a video on his channel talking all about it, so definitely go check it out. So starting with inspiration, what is it and how do you get it? Inspiration is that feeling when you're taking a walk outside or you're playing a game and you just come up with a really creative idea and you feel passionate about it. You don't have to force yourself to do it. It just feels really natural. Now, for a lot of people, inspiration feels like lightning. It never strikes in the same place twice. But I disagree. There are ways and things that you can do to actually help yourself become inspired. For example, when I was working on my game Squeaks and Squalls, I really wasn't sure what sort of game, and it kind of had to be winter theme. I knew I wanted to create a roguelike game, but for the setting, I just was running out of ideas. And at the time, I was listening to Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, which is a fantastic score that I highly recommend you listen to. There's a part in the Nutcracker play where they fight the Mouse King. And I just thought that it was such a cool and interesting thing to add in a winter game, is to have these mice that are fighting and maybe there's a Mouse King. So that's where I found inspiration for Squeaks and Squalls. Now, there's been other times that I've really struggled to figure out the type of game or genre I wanted to make. And I think part of it is that we try to get our inspiration too much from other video games. What happens if you only pull inspiration from other video games, you end up creating something that doesn't feel incredibly original, or maybe something that you're not as passionate about. So what I recommend is that go out in nature, look around you. What are things that you love and enjoy? The creator of Celeste loved rock climbing, so he made a game about climbing a mountain. Find things, find hobbies that you enjoy in the real world and apply them to your games, and you'll find that inspiration is just around the corner.
When trying to find inspiration, I often find myself looking to those who know it all and have their journeys already fleshed out. It may inspire us to be like them someday, but this can also have the reversed effect. Always comparing ourselves with professionals in our field can sometimes become draining and sabotage our own successes. So what if instead we flip the switch? What if we looked at just how far we have come on our own journeys and took a look at our past selves, or even other devs out there that are just starting or struggling to find their way? I don't mean to come off as arrogant or egotistical here, but I am sure that there are many people out there who wish they were in yours or my situation, and we need to own that. We need to take responsibility for everything we have done thus far and find inspiration from within. I think as humans, we often dream about the future or push away the past, but why not find motivation to keep going from where we have come from and where we are headed? This is personally how I went from somewhat successful but miserable developing games to actually being happy and enjoying the process. I'm not focused on where I will end up. I have committed to what I believe in and am now just living it out day by day. I always keep the future in mind, but I am no longer stressed or anxious about every passing day. If you put enough true effort forward and believe in what you are doing, you can achieve success much faster, but also in a much healthier way. To sum things up, I like to find inspiration from my own work, and whenever I'm feeling lost, I just look at where I've came from, and hopefully I am doing better. If this isn't the case for you, I'm sure you can still find motivation through the skills that you have learned along the way, or where you can envision your life going in the future. Not all future thinking is bad, just make sure to not get lost in your vision.
Now, the second stage of motivation is infatuation. It's a period where nothing is wrong with your game. Everything is perfect. You're excited. You're addicted to your game. You can't stop working on it. But the problem with it is it's this temporary feeling of love. You don't really love your project. You just are kind of in love with the newness of it. And here's where I can find myself getting messed up when working on a project. You think that infatuation is the motivation for your game. So you're passionate about it, and after a week or two, that infatuation wears off. And instead of feeling excited about working on your project, you actually start to get really bored and irritated and frustrated with your project, and you see all its problems afterwards, but then you end up just dropping it. And here's the thing, infatuation is not motivation. It is a tool to help you launch into a game or a project. So we understand that inspiration is the idea, it's the conception of a game or a project. And then the infatuation period is kind of like the kindling to the fire. It just builds up this fire to get you passionate about your game so that you get started. But when all of that goes away, that's when the determination comes in. Because the difference between motivation and determination is that motivation generally is a feeling. It's this emotional response to, hey, I saw this thing and it made me inspired and I'm infatuated and I just want to work on this thing. When determination is, hey, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it. If you feel like you struggle with finding that determination, then I honestly encourage you to go check out Reece's channel and to watch the video we did on it. Ultimately, motivation is a major topic and something I would love to talk about more in greater detail, but I hope this helped you get a better sense of the cycle of motivation. And next time when you are going through the motions and you notice it happen, maybe you can push through further and be like, oh, this is just this part and I know I need to move on to the next stage. Also, I just want to give a huge shout out to Reece. His channel is fantastic and he's just a life giver. He loves to encourage people and he's working on a fantastic monster battler game called Monster Tribe. It's amazing. Check it out. It's going to be coming on Kickstarter soon and you know I'm going to be backing it. If you have any questions or things that motivate you, please leave them in the chat. I respond to every single comment. It's important for me. It takes me hours, but I do it because I love interacting with you guys. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. I know we've been doing a little bit different videos here, talking more about general motivation with game dev. There will be more Dewdrop devlogs, so look forward to that. And I just hope you guys have a fantastic week. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.